What's up, guys? Today we are going to be sitting down with my friend ArksNSparks. We're going to talk to him about how he arrived at Command Center 30. So let's get into it. All right, so today we are sitting down with a good friend of mine, my alliance leader, the Princep of Server 30. Someone who started playing Infinite Galaxy with me on a previous server, and we started the same day, the day this server opened up. And I have watched his journey from Command Center level 1 all the way up to Command Center level 30. The one and only ArksNSparks. What's going on, man?
What's up, y'all?
I'm just admiring your base. Almost the size of some of the planets in the background at this point, I believe.
It's close. I have to admit that I admire it sometimes too. Just sit there and spin it.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to look at, and I think it's really well accented by that Princep badge. It's just a lot of shimmering gold. They really did a good job.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the bling. That's the sugar. That's the cherry on top.
Indeed. So yeah, just some general questions. I think people have a lot of different perceptions about arriving at Command Center 30 and what it means and how you got there. So in no particular order, I guess the first thing we should probably get out of the way is you're not free to play, are you?
No, definitely not. I can't say that I am. I wish I was sometimes.
Yep, I've been free to play on certain days, personally.
I've gone certain weeks free to play.
Yeah, all right.
I cut way back for quite a while, actually.
I do recall seeing that. I did miss some of the Alliance gifts.
Sorry about that, buddy.
It's all right. So you're a bit more clued in on some of the other Alliance members we have. Do you know who is the strongest free-to-play player we have right now?
Free-to-play, we've got several players that I would say are very cheap to play, that have invested very, very little in the game.
But you don't know if
and yeah, I would say Dirk is invested very little compared to some of the other not free-to-play players, and
yeah, he's like $700 in.
Yeah, he spent very little over the year, and with heavy farming and being very efficient. He's more efficient than I am.
He is very efficient. I've seen him. I don't want to give away too many of his trade secrets, but I'll just say he has a lot of accounts, and he manages to keep all the plates spinning at once. So he's got a lot of really good resource income, and he has benefited from being in the rank 1 alliance in the game from day 1.
Yeah, he's gonna. I would not be surprised at all if he's the next level 30 in our nebula.
All right, so I guess we can say that you don't have to be a massive whale to reach Command Center 30. I will say though that both of you guys have definitely accomplished this at quite an accelerated pace. I would have to check. Do you happen to know offhand how long it took you? We are 148 days in, and how many days ago did you pull this off?
I guess it's been about 2 weeks now.
All right, so if we subtract 14, that brings us to what, 134 days, give or take?
Yeah, give or take. Give or take. That sounds about right.
All right, and if we do that by months, so it's 4 to 5 months. So safe to say, if you're really efficient, even as a free-to-play, it's likely possible to reach Command Center 30 in about 6 months. But again, that's if you're crazy efficient. And yeah, you have to have a lot of things go your way, like being able to reap the benefits of the territory taxes and stuff from the rank 1 alliance on the server. But it can be done. The important part.
And efficient farming, and efficient use of, what you do. I don't know, playing the events is another big thing, is you got to make sure that you're active and available to play all the events, because those events really give a lot of rewards too. It's how you get your crew up. It's how you get your flagship up. It helps a lot.
That's what I wanted to ask you, actually, is as far as the contributing factors that have helped you get here, what would you say was some of the major things? Let you answer that.
Farming resources and getting resources is number 1. I mean, the amount of resources required for 30, anything over anything over 22, really, it just starts amping up very quickly. Outside of that, building your flagship so that you can score high in the events, building your crew to make your fleet strong. Those are all, really important things. And it's funny because I've been playing, like you said, if you count the time in the other server, we've been playing over 6 months, and it's I'm still learning every day. I'm in a lot of different forums, a lot of different groups where people talk about the game, and we run experiments, and they make changes, and it's a constant evolution in this game.
Yep, that, and they like to change things from time to time to keep us on our toes.
That keeps it exciting. You don't want the same thing every day.
Oh no, I agree. I support it, but it just keeps you learning. Just when you think you've got it figured out, something will change, and back to the drawing board. So
yep.
Any specific like tips and tricks that you can pass on to someone trying to level up quickly? Like, one thing that came to mind is I don't tend to do this, but I know that it's a common practice for some to change some things around, specifically when you're going to be constructing.
Yes, absolutely. You can, the biggest thing that I see, it's one of the biggest mistakes I see. People start, you're in development mode because you're farming all the time, and that's got some construction and research in the development mode in your core module. It's got construction and research boosts, but if you don't bother changing your crew as well, and even respecing your crew if it's something big, that gives you huge benefits. I showed everyone once in our Discord server, I showed everyone my normal time in battle mode, and then I changed all my specs, and it dropped everything by like 3 weeks.
Jeez.
Which is huge. That was a command center. That was a relatively large build, but to drop it by 3 weeks was huge. And then the helps dropped it another, week on top of that.
So you were able to shave off literally a month of construction time by respecking your core module and restructuring your crew?
Yeah, core module, crew, absolutely. Your crew abilities, the
right, some of
where
the
you put your crew points,
speed and stuff.
Yeah.
That
it's absolutely amazing how much time you can save on some of those big builds. But you wouldn't want to sit like that all the time, so you have to be willing to play the events and save your corium for those respecs, because you're going to want to go back into development mode and farming mode to maximize the amount of resources you can get.
Definitely. Now, what would you say of all the major contributing factors, of all the things that you learned, what would you say was like the single most influential thing where when you figured it out, you were like, oh, this is a game changer as far as growing my command?
Oh, that's going to be my combat, my fleet specs and my warship specs. For a long time, I was just going for leadership. Slip and I were in a little leadership competition. Who can have the biggest fleet? And the biggest fleet doesn't matter if yours is stronger. And I respect at one point off of some other little tidbits that I had seen out there in the world. And I totally respect, and I changed my crew up when we had those crew resets. And I went all in on combat, and I put a lot of my best crew members in my crew instead of as captains. I reset Laura, who's a big leadership captain, and I put that into some of my military captains and combat captains. And when I got my combat points up to 500 and changed my captains around, and it lowered my leadership considerably. But I remember when I first did that, I went head to head with Slip, and if I'm not mistaken, he had me fleet power. He had me beat by like almost or over even 2 mil. Might have been 2.5 mil. And just watching his fleet melt with my much less powerful fleet numbers wise was all the evidence I needed. I said, okay. And I believe shortly thereafter he started following in my footsteps and mixing all his stuff up.
If I know Slip, he'll be really glad that you made sure to answer it like that on the record for the video.
Oh man, you know what though? He is every bit as strong as I am. Between the two of us, we're head to head. We keep on jumping and taking turns. He's got a very, very powerful fleet.
Yeah, I think you guys bring out the best in each other. it's up to you if you're comfortable disclosing this, but if you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living that allows you to afford such a lavish base?
Oh, it's honestly it's not my job. I don't put my job money into this game. I'm an electrician. I'm a dad. I'm a cook and a musician. I mean, I'm like avid camper and bicyclist and kayaker. I do all sorts of things, but my career is an electrician. The money that I did invest in this game, predominantly early on, I don't put as much nearly in as I did early in the server to get that head start. But that all came from playing with cryptocurrency. I got really lucky on a couple, and I took just a small percentage of my profits, and it was my fun gaming fund.
Nice. I asked that just to clarify, because I think some people are under the impression that, you know, to be in the super upper echelons of this game, you have to be, you know, some CEO of some Fortune 500 company who owns 5 businesses or something like that. So
yeah, no, nothing like that. Nothing like that. And you know what's funny is I have spent more than I needed to get to where I am, because I was not very efficient, especially early game. I was just kind of getting everything, throwing it at the wall and seeing what stuck, and I would have done it a lot different now. Got to have some friends, got to have some farms, got to work the system, and you got to put in time is the biggest thing, because it's a lot of time to get to 30. But yeah, it doesn't require a Fortune 500 CEO position.
Well, I think people will be relieved to hear that. And then I guess we'll end on this question, and I think this is the most important question of all the ones that I've asked you, which is who's the most influential and therefore your favorite content creator for this game?
Oh, well, that's going to be you, Khasino. What, of course.
Oh, I thought for sure you were gonna say Happy Galaxy. That's what I.
I almost did. I almost did, because you have to give respect to Happy. He's out there doing it every day, and he does a lot of really good work. But you know, I'm in the Khasino Dojo, so I've only got one acceptable answer to that question.
I appreciate you having my back, but yeah, I did want to take the opportunity. I know Happy Galaxy puts out amazing resources. We've had him by to chat a few times, and yeah,
he really does, and I watch every single thing he puts out too.
Excellent. So yeah, go check out his stuff as well. But
Sinchi as well does some good work.
Also, yep.
There's a lot of good content creators that really are doing the work and doing the research, and they've got great Discord servers where you can learn all sorts of cool stuff.
Absolutely. And on that note, thank you very much for taking the time to sit down with me. I think people will be interested to hear a bit about, you know, the perspective of a Command Center 30 player, and I thought I know one of those. Are you the only Command Center 30 on our server right now, or is there one other?
Yes, no, I am in on our server.
So yeah, so
I'm
as the first.
In fact, there's not.
Only.
I know our old server 18 doesn't have one yet either.
Oh wow, and they had like at least another month or 2 head start.
6 weeks, wow. Ahead of us, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
And still none. So there you have it. Well, all right. So thank you for sitting down for me and chatting about this stuff. I will.
No problem.
I look forward to trying to tackle this rank 5 fortress with you on stream in just a bit. But for those of you that tuned into this YouTube video, thank you guys very much for checking out this video. If you have any feedback or any questions or anything, leave that in the comments. Be sure to feed our algorithm overlords by dropping a like, dropping a subscribe to the channel and all that. But otherwise, thank you guys very much for checking out this video, and I will see you guys real soon. Till next time.